team. And then there is this thing called the federal election that we're now kind of knee-deep getting into that, okay? So 11 weeks to go until you have to cast your ballot on October the 19th. But there's also a call now and a push to try and use this 11-week campaign to try and increase voter turnout, because that's always a problem when it comes to any kind of election. This local group called Dogwood Initiative plans on deploying 2,800 volunteers on 57 teams, expanding right across the province to get out there and talk with people about issues like the environment and the economy.
Well, when your voter turnout rate is under 60%, as we've seen a couple of elections ago, what it means is the country is being governed without input from 4 in 10 Canadians. And these are decisions that affect all of us as citizens. And so if you don't vote, then you don't have any stake in what happens in this country.
And, you know, kudos to the volunteers, and I appreciate the effort to get people involved in the electoral process, because I've been on this show with you like for, what, 6, 7 years, and we talk about this, whether it's federal, provincial, municipal. The voter turnouts are always low, but honestly, to drop the writ on the Sunday of a long weekend, which is what the Prime Minister did, and say it's going to be an 11-week run, the big challenge is to make people care, and to do that in the summer season. I see the idea of September. You know, you're back to school, you're back to work, you're back to routines, and you're paying attention. This Thursday is an opportunity with 4 party leaders set to go head-to-head in the Maclean's debate here to make people care. I mean, you talk about the issues, what is going to be the #1 issue, and the emotion involved. And, you know, rest in peace, Jack Layton was phenomenal at this, about conveying that emotion about why he cares for Canada, and that's been missing for a long time. So I'm very curious to see what happens on Thursday, because that debate really sets the tone for this 11-week election run.
Yeah, and that debate you can watch right here only on City and also on Omni. It gets underway at 5 o'clock. There's something to be said, though, about this 11-week-long campaign. I mean, traditionally, our federal elections are only about 5 weeks long, and they cost around $375 to $400 million, give or take, right? So now you've more than doubled that campaign, and I find personally that after 5 weeks, I already have election campaign fatigue. So I'm really interested to see how this 11-week stretch goes, and if we kind of ease up into that 11-week kind of stretch, or if they're going to use this week #1 to come out swinging, and also the fact that this first debate is happening within the first week of that writ being dropped.